Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be making an eggless moist chocolate fruit cake. So in this bowl I have 1.5 cup of flour. It's been sieved to make it more aerated and to remove any lumps and particles. I also have cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder. I'll also be adding milk flavor to this recipe. Now milk flavor is a substitute for milk, and it's good for people that are lactose intolerant or don't like milk in their cake. It's not real milk, it's just like a substitute. But if you're going for a vegan cake and you're doubtful, you can skip this process. So I have 1 cup of natural unsweetened cocoa powder. If you're using Dutch processed cocoa powder, you can use half a cup. So now what this will do is give a very dark, rich chocolatey taste to our cake. I have half a tablespoon of cinnamon and nutmeg mixed together. Because I'm adding fruits to it, I want to give the cake a spicy punch. So we're going to be using baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda to this recipe. Because it's eggless, the baking soda is going to help the cake rise well. It is also worthy to know that baking soda needs a liquid and an acid. When I mean acid, I'm talking about things like vinegar or lemon juice. So if you have either of that, I'm going to be using vinegar. It also needs a liquid, so water, milk, but in this recipe we'll use water. So I'm adding 2 cups of sugar for this recipe, and because I'm using unsweetened cocoa powder, that's why I have about 2 cups. This is margarine, 70 grams of margarine, and margarine is hydrogenated vegetable oil. So hydrogenation is a process of turning oil into this spreadable consistency that looks like butter. But the difference is butter is made from churning milk, while margarine is made from a process called hydrogenation of oil. So I'll also be adding a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. The reason why I'm adding so much fat is because I want it to be soft and moist, because it's eggless. I don't want to have a dry cake at the end of the day. Some people are skeptical about eggless cakes because they think it's a dry cake. It doesn't have to be so. So now I have dried fruits, raisins, cranberries, sultanas. I'm using only half of it because it usually sinks to the bottom of the pan. Now I have 2 cups of hot water, not warm water, hot water. So this hot water will melt all of these ingredients, especially the sugar and the margarine. It will also bloom the cocoa powder to give it a more chocolatey taste. So I'm going to be combining this, and then I'll switch to a whisk so that I can have a velvety batter to combine it very well, and I don't have particles of flour in my batter. So you can see I'm using a whisk to whisk it and make sure that it is thoroughly combined. So now as you can see, the batter is looking more and more combined. I remember that I said I was going to add liquid and an acid to help the baking soda, to activate the baking soda. So I'm whisking away, whisking. Can see that it's becoming a lot velvety. Yes, this is what it looks like at the end of the day. So I'm going to be adding half a tablespoon of clear vanilla extract, and then 2 tablespoons of the white vinegar. So people, like I said earlier on, that people are skeptical about eggless cakes, but what we don't understand is that some people are actually allergic to eggs, and some people really don't like the taste of eggs. So when you add the vinegar, it will help activate the baking soda. Now, like I said earlier on, that the raisins, when you mix them in the batter, that it usually sinks to the bottom. If you have a regular fruit cake, you can see that we're having so much fruit and so little flour, so it doesn't matter which one sinks to the bottom, the fruit is evenly distributed. But this one, we have very little fruit because we just want just little fruits in the chocolate cake. So I'll be adding some of those ones I didn't put in the first instance, some of the fruits I didn't put in the first instance. on the batter so that when it bakes, it's going to have some underneath the cake, and then we're going to have some evenly distributed. That's what I'm going for. So I'm going to bake this in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven, a preheated oven. It's very important to preheat your oven so that your cake is baked thoroughly on all sides and you don't have a sinking cake. I'm going to bake it for 30 minutes, and here we have our cake. You can see it looks soft and moist and dark. Yes, this is what I was going for, dark. I wasn't going for a light chocolate cake, I was going for dark. If this is too dark for you, you can use half a cup of the natural cocoa powder and a quarter cup of the Dutch processed cocoa powder. But this is how I like it, and I really loved this cake. It's really soft. When I put a knife through it, it's really soft, and then you can see all the fruits around. You can see some of the fruits even falling off the cake. That's how soft, rich and moist this cake is. So you don't have to say, oh, eggless cakes are dry and they're not tasty. They are tasty. So let's have a slice of this beautiful cake. Okay, I'm not a great singer, but please bear with my voice. So this is the cake. It's really soft and moist, and you can see how crumbly it is. I felt like there was no need for any chocolate ganache or a chocolate buttercream, so this was how I was going to serve it. This cake can easily serve 10 people depending on how you decide to portion the cake, but at least a minimum of 7 people. So you can see the cake, how crumbly it is. It's really soft. It's not hard or dry. It's a very soft cake. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in more recipes like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Like, share. Bye.